right. Today I'm going to be talking about delusional self-belief. So, the power of delusional self-belief is truly something. Let me tell you. Um, I really never struggled in believing in myself throughout my entire life. I've always thought if I set my mind to something, I can do it, right? And I've always been that way. Um, Lots of people say I have a big ego, and sure, that's fair, but delusional self belief and ego are two separate things that kind of correlate. Um, Delusional self belief just means that no matter what you set your mind to, you think you can do it. And personally, in my life, that's a very huge thing. Um, in my circumstances, I have delusional self belief that I will become a profitable trader and that I will have financial freedom and I can bless my family with the things that they want or need or really anything. Um, when it comes to delusional self belief, it's really just a mindset and just like a flick of the switch type of thing. It's like sometimes you can be sad and depressed, but you can flick that off and make yourself happy by one, thinking happy thoughts, go to your happy place, shout out Happy Gilmore, or just doing something that makes you happy, right? It's the same thing with delusional self belief. If you believe you can do something, you have to work all day, or not all day, but you have to work a lot to get to where you want to be, right? So, my delusional self belief in trading is very big, I'd say. I tell people like what I want to do later in my life, and I usually just get like some laughs and some smiles, and that's perfectly okay, right? If you have a goal and it seems out of reach, especially to the people who you're surrounded by, then obviously they're just going to laugh at you, right? But deep down, you have to know that you can do it. You have to know that no matter what comes your way, that you're going to get through it, right? So I started day trading, and it's really hard, right? It's a really hard thing. It's a really hard skill to learn and to be able to have, right? So, and lots of people think it's a scam too, right? So you really just have to give it your all, and you can't stop. You just have to keep going and keep telling yourself you can do it, because it is real, okay? There's countless stories out there where people have wanted something, and everybody will call them crazy, but they will get it done, okay? And the only reason they're able to get it done is because they have delusional self-belief. um, I've Ever since I was a little child, I've never really wanted to settle for less. I've always wanted the most, you know? And kind of kind of having that mindset as a child really carried into my teenage years of saying, "Hey, if I want this, these are the things I have to do and I know I can do it." And you'll get a lot of crazy looks, like I said earlier. Um, and it's okay. It's okay for people to look at you like you're crazy, or for people to doubt you. All right, people can doubt you. You just can't doubt yourself. Um, there was, I don't know the exact timestamps, but back in the day, everybody, even scientists, thought it was physically impossible to run a mile under 4 minutes, right? And this one medical student was like, no, like there has to be, you have to be able to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Like, there's no way you can't. So he did a whole bunch of experiments, or not really experiments, but he like got people and like tested them and like did things with them. And surely enough, there was a person who broke the 4 minutes, and then shortly after that, it was like 20 more people, right? So no matter how crazy something might seem, you know how you always see like Red Bull stunts, and it's like, wow, you know, all of those people have delusional self belief in themselves. They know that they can do it, right? It's not like, oh, I've done this many, many times, so I can do it again. No, those are all stunts that they have never done in their life before, but they have so much delusional self belief that they can get it done, and yet they still do it, right? Or, you know, say you want good grades in school, you know, grading systems are kind of odd, in my opinion. Um, but if you have the belief that you're going to get 100 in every class and you work insanely hard toward those goals, you will get 100 in every class, right? Like, yes, sure, you need to be smart, but if you have delusional self-belief that you are smart, then you will be smart, right? It's kind of the same as manifestation, right? Or visualizing what you'll have in your future, right? So really just sitting in the car that you have and being like, closing your eyes and seeing your dream car, right? You're driving your dream car. The human mind can't tell the difference between a strong visualization and reality, okay? So basically what that means is you can trick your mind into thinking that you're already living in the future of where you want to be at. And that just makes everything so much easier to be able to achieve your dreams, right? So really just manifestate or uh, manifestation and believing in yourself and using strong visuals to, you know, keep you grounded, keep you feeling good, and those will help you move forward. um hmm. Lots of you need to have a lot of belief in yourself, but also things that are higher power than you, right? Like these things won't happen if you're only like if you're so self-centered, right? You can't be self-centered. You need to open your eyes to how other people feel emotionally to understand how delusional self-belief works, right? You need to understand, okay, these things are hard for people. Why are they hard for those people, right? You need to understand why some things might be challenging for other people but aren't for others. You need to really be able to just understand human emotions as a whole, kind of thing. um Otherwise, like, if you're self-centered, how are you, like, you can have delusional self-belief if you're self-centered, but it's just like, how are you going to keep going if you don't understand what's really pushing you, right? So our feelings control our actions, and just because you feel like only you matter doesn't mean you're gonna like get to the point of where you want to be, right? You need to understand that everybody in the world matters. Everybody is going through their own struggles, their own challenges. For you to really get in tune with your emotions and feelings. And once that happens, you can start to like, you understand it so you can do it, if that makes sense. I know my wording's kind of bad here. I'm not a philosopher, but that's just kind of how it is, in my opinion. is that you need to understand all the aspects that makes a human in order to have the power of delusional self-belief, right? The human mind is so complex and really wonderful. I wanted to be a neurosurgeon before I started day trading, um, just because I thought of like how cool our brain is, and like we only know, I'm pretty sure it's like 20. We only know 20% of what our brain's capable of, and the other 80% we have no idea. So I think that's another part of delusional self belief is that the 80% that we don't know of is working up there. You know, it's working towards anything that you're thinking, right? So when you go to bed, all the 80% is working while you're sleeping, and the other 20% is while you're awake, right? So our subconscious mind is a very big part of who you are, right? Um, Somebody can filter out all of their actions and how they act towards people, etc., while they're awake. But when somebody's sleeping, there's no filter, there's no nothing. It's just who you are. So that's why, sometimes you'll go to bed and you'll wake up the next day and you'll just be in an awful mood and you'll like just be angry all day. Something probably happened in your sleep, or uh, something affected your subconscious brain, right? So if you play a 500 hertz frequency, I'm pretty sure it's like 513, 5 something like that. It calms your brain and while you're sleeping, and subconsciously it'll make a whole bunch of routes into becoming a better person, right? I truly believe that if we did not have a conscious mind, then everyone would be absolute animals. Okay. And I'm only saying this because deep down in our subconscious, we have no idea what's going on. Not a single one of us know what it's like while we're sleeping, or what causes us to feel certain ways, right? But while you're awake, you know everything that's happening inside your brain. And I just think that it's one, really cool, but two, also an obvious indicator as we're all wild animals, right? If we could not consciously think, what would we be? We would just be savages, right? Um, Anyways, that's kind of besides the point. That was just kind of correlating with delusional self belief, saying like, because you don't know what's happening while you're sleeping, but you know what's happening while you're awake. And the chances are that your delusional self belief stems from what your mind's going through while you're sleeping, right? Um, I think everybody has the ability to have delusional self belief. I just think you need to know how to unlock it. Um, Obviously, I don't know how to unlock it. I've just had it my entire life. It feels like lots of people have dreams and goals and they can work towards those goals, but they can get burnt out. A person with delusional self belief will never stop, no matter how many times they fail, no matter how much money they've lost, no matter the circumstance, right? So I would think of it as, say you're say you're running, okay, and you're running with another person, and that person is a stranger, okay? Say you are the person who does not have delusional self belief, but the other person does. Now, you're talking to this person, and the person goes, "Oh, I have a really awful um, calf cramp. Like, I don't know how I'm going to keep running. We got like 4 more miles. This is like awful." And then you're like, "Yeah, man, like I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know how you're still running. Like, I would just be like, oh, oh, you know? So, good on you." And then you go about 2 more miles later, and you, the person without the calf cramp, the person with however much water, decides, I can't do this. I really need to sit down and just take a break. And you see the person with the calf cramp with no water still running, right? Are you going to sit down and be like, hmm, I wonder if I could do that? Or you're going to be like, wow, that's really impressive. Because I'll tell you what, most of the time, you're probably going to say, wow, that is really impressive. I wish I could do that, right? But the thing is, you can do it. You can do it. You just need to have the self belief to do it, right? Um, I think of Terry Fox when it comes to delusional self belief because I'm from Canada. But guy had leg cancer and had to get his leg cut off, and he still tried to run from the Atlantic to the Pacific, right? That is the power of delusional self belief. He never gave up, he never stopped, he kept going until he died. And I know Terry Fox truly believed he could do it, and I know that Terry Fox would have done it if he didn't pass away. So, on that note, I think I'm going to end here. I don't have much else to say other than believe in yourself delusionally. Thank you, and have a great night.